going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Birds. Fred Johnson is back, the Eagles swing tackle who, if you saw my videos last year, know that I really liked Fred Johnson. I think he did a terrific job as the Eagles swing tackle, filling in for Jordan Mailata last year. Eagles let him test the market. They weren't going to spend that. I think it was $3.5 million. The Jacksonville Jaguars signed him to a one-year deal. So they let him explore his starting options elsewhere. It didn't work out for him with the Jaguars, which caught me a little bit by surprise. We'll get back to that. Eagles see there's an opportunity. They sent a 7th-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and in exchange, or in a subsequent move, they trade Darren Kennard to the Packers in exchange for a 6th-round pick. So Eagles flip Kennard for Fred, and they get a actually upgrade from a 7th to a 6th-round pick instead. And it can't be by surprise. Why? Because when you see here, get me out of the way here, you see this is in week 2 of the preseason. Here you have this is Fred Johnson along with the rest of the starting offensive line for the Jaguars. This is Trevor Lawrence. So I really thought that he was going to be solid inventory in their starting, or at least top backup inventory there for the Jaguars, but it didn't work out, and he's back with the Eagles. Let's see what he's been up to. Let's just take a little bit of a video here from the preseason of the Jaguars and what Fred brings to the table. So let's get to it. What surprised me here as I started watching this is that Fred was playing right tackle for the Jaguars. He primarily filled in at left tackle for the Eagles. Again, that versatility that he brings to the table is a big reason why I think the Eagles brought him back, because they can feel a little bit better at both spots. So what we see is going to be mirrored from last season, which is a little bit weird to me. Obviously, if you didn't see it, you won't matter, or you won't mind. But I know that this is not his preferred, most comfortable position. I think we don't really see that too much here. Good kick steps on this rep. Gets set up. I think he gets set up a little bit out of balance here. I like that foot to get a little bit more back, so he has more anchor to begin with when he's catching. You see, he still has that Jeff Stoutland catch the pass rusher technique than you see from maybe somebody who's been more taught elsewhere. You see the opposite side here with 72. I don't know what that is actually, but see the difference between the two of them. First, you'll see a lot more vertical set here from Fred Johnson. But the way they're taking these guys on, you see attacking hands here, driving a little bit forward. And you see on the opposite side right here with Fred Johnson a little bit more of that catch technique that we see so often, which Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson have excelled at. The bonuses of that technique is that you can react a little bit faster to guys trying to get off the edge. You're not as susceptible to getting beat off the edge because you're awaiting the move of the defender, and then you're reacting to that. You're not attacking them, leaving you susceptible to get your hand swiped away and then bending around the edge or that inside move club. So it all has advantages and disadvantages. But what I like to see on this rep here, even though I think Fred is a little bit out of balance, is the anchor that he has after he catches the defender. Catch, then sets. He actually loses the leverage position to begin with. So when he is coming back all the way, he's too upright. His feet are not planted well, and the defender is actually a lot lower than him. So that could spell trouble. But he sets the anchor anyway. Lovely rep right here. You see a little bit more of the veteran awareness of Fred Johnson, of a guy who's been in the league a lot, and who's played games. He's first going to assist in here with the guard on the defensive tackle before he's getting out there on his own man. You see this time we have a little bit, we have an extremely wide set out there, which is why he has that time to get in first, chip off that block, and then go deep himself after. So there's a lot more time there for him to work with, and you see the natural movability from him. You see that foot right there, that outside foot. Even as he's punching, see there, he's still moving that outside foot backwards. He's seamless transition into a kick step. Try to pause it right there. You see that he got the hands up on him, and that foot is still going backwards and transitioning into kick steps to where he can get his hands on the defender as he's trying to get the edge there. This clip brings back a little bit of memories to what I was going through with Fred when I was going through the video of Fred last year. Is he has a susceptibility to inside moves, especially when he's going up against quicker pass rushers. The reason why is because he's often very focused on getting backwards. And sometimes that looks really athletic, and it looks like, wow, he's really agile and can move backwards quickly. But I think sometimes he overdoes it also in a sense to where you see him trying to kick step even though he doesn't really have to. He's even with this guy right here. So if he wants to bend around the edge, he's in a good position. But even then, that outside leg is still moving back in a kick step. And so as he's stepping back, the pass rusher is going to do his inside move at that point. That's just unfortunate. It's bad. It's unfortunate timing. And it really results in trying to get too much depth in the pass set. So here, if you just set that foot, he's in a position to where he can engage in whatever the defensive end wants to do. He's in a much better set. If he wants to go inside, you can get his hands on him. If you're trying to bend around the edge, you can flip the hips and you drive him backwards, and you can catch him if you're trying to do the bull rush. So it's something to work. It's something to work on. It's something he's always had a little bit of susceptibility to. Maybe this is the reason why the Jaguars got a little bit scared. Follows that up with a lovely rep right here, though. Once again, working that right tackle. This is a really good pass set. Good timing, good leverage, and good in terms of getting vertical relative to the pass rusher. This time you see his foot is getting planted. He doesn't take that extra step this time, and so he's in a much better position to take his guy head on. Also, something you typically see here is when they're this far out, the pass set becomes a little bit more banana-ish. So he wants to get a little bit more outside. This is also something that Jeff Dowdland teaches a lot of. The further they're out, you take more aggressive steps out there towards him, so you create more space in the pocket to that side. This is something he does a good job of right here, because when they're lined up that far out, they also generate more speed, more power as they're going into their bull rush. Fred doesn't get moved at all there. Split zone run here. And I'm not quite sure why Fred is hesitating in the way he does. If it's something they teach on this play in Jacksonville, where you see everybody here is zone blocking to the left side here. You got the tight end coming across. It's going to be that split blocker. And Fred is kind of stalling a little bit here, not really knowing who to go to. It works out great, to be honest, because it really hits the timing of when he's getting up there to the linebacker. When he's hitting 47, that's the same time that the tight end is coming out here and crack blocking on or kick out blocking, excuse me, on the defensive end. Because normally I usually just see them shoot up there in that zone, in that split zone, but it works. Good luck getting to the second level. Remember that if you want to support the show, if you want to support me and the analysis that I try to bring you guys of Eagles players and good and bad, and also make sure to bring out suggestions, keep in the comments, and if you have any suggestions to the show, support the channel and buy me a coffee. It literally goes to coffee and the software that I use to break down Eagles film and share with you guys. This year I'm going to try to get more videos out there. I'll elaborate more on why I might have more time this year. That's for a different episode. All right, we got him back on the left side here. The natural position, like I said at the beginning of the video, and we see why immediately as we get to the first rep right here. We're going to dive up the middle right here. You see Fred Johnson assisting on the double team there and then transitioning up to linebacker right afterwards. Nice job. Good block on 45. Good power. I love when something I explain just becomes so evidently clear a few snaps later, or a couple of drives later right here. We see Fred coming out to the left side here. I just make the point that left side is a lot more natural for him. And look at what he does right here. Look at the kick, the drop back. that he has in his pass sets right here. Again, a little bit banana motion. We got a guy lined up right outside there, so he's wide. Banana motion as he's coming out, get a little bit more lateral, get a little bit more depth. And look at his feet as he's taking on this guy. This is a million times better than we saw on the right side. He's in so much more balance. He's lower with his head and his butt. He can take a lot more power there from the defensive, the pass rusher. Great rep. Guess who's back? Back again. Fred is back. Tell a friend. Lovely rep. Zone left. One job. Kick the defensive end's ass. This is what it looks like when you have second stringers and third stringers playing against a guy who has starting qualities in the NFL and Fred Johnson. This is why he is a swing starting tackle that can come in, and why the Eagles feel really good about him. Good leverage, good drive, puts the end here on his ass, finish him off. Again, just so much more balance on the left side. Look how he's in position and negates every single move that the end is trying to make on this rep right here. First and foremost, kick steps in good control. He has his feet planted well as he's taking on the defensive end. He tries to go outside. He's got him in the long grab, long ass arms, extend him out, have him full control. And then when he's coming to the edge, he's trying to go a little bit more of a counter move inside. Right there. He's trying to get inside. There's just zero room to work with when you got those long arms. Fred just smothering him. Absolutely awesome drive from Fred Johnson right there. Goal line situation. You want to just plow through as much as possible. This is a guy who's been working on the tush push, okay? This is a man who's used to just plowing down people in short yardage situations. Obliterates 91. Everybody celebrate. Fred is happy. Fred thinks he won a job there in Jacksonville, and then trade him to the Eagles once again. I love this rep. Once again, like I highlighted before, the susceptibility, the inside move. Spot what happens in this rep here too. See it? That outside foot, once again, is just getting into his into his pass set. There, he lifts it. Right at the point where he's going to go inside, he lifts his back foot again. So he's in a terrible situation or terrible position to counter that inside move from the end. And there's no reason for it. He's in a good position right here as well. Like, he has everything he needs right here. Just plant the feet right there. So he's in a good base where he can punch as he's going to the inside. He can flip his hips and drive if he wants to go to the edge. They save it this time here. Again, it's easily correctable. He's in the good play. He's in a good spot. He needs to get on the start on the swings once again, I think. Corrects it much better on the very next rep here. Again, left tackle, one step out, plant, boom. Much better position to it. And it looks so seamless when you're taking out a guy who's trying to go inside when you're in a good position to it. Because it's pretty easy. If you can get a good punch on him, the feet need to be there. When they are on a rep like this, it just looks so much more effortless and smooth. And I know it's something that Jeff Stoutland's going to be on his ass about from the get-go. Aggressive step out and then take it from there. Have your feet placed underneath you.